There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit,
in tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street-smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now. Welcome, everyone, to Transformation Network, The Psychic and the Doc. I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer, and my amazing co-host, Dr. Pat Baccili, who's a world-renowned behavioral psychologist and founder of the Transformation Network and host of the long-running and multiple award-winning The Dr. Pat Show, is here with me. We have a great topic tonight, wash away negativity. And when we were talking about this, this is a perfect time of year for all of our listeners of the Jewish faith. Passover starts on the 12th, which is Saturday. Now, talk about washing away some serious negativity. Passover. Palm Sunday is this Sunday. And for everybody else, I mean, we all have some negativity in our lives that we just want to wash away. And you've come to the right place because the Psychic and the Doc, we're going to help you find a way to not only recognize what that negativity is, but also to help you wash it away. This is a live call-in show, 1-800-930-2819. We are taking your calls tonight. So Dr. Pat, washing away negativity. That sounds like something you'd like to jump in the pool of anti-negativity right now, I would guess.
Well, I have to tell you, I mean, I can speak from a couple different realms about this. And if I think about my own life, one of the places that has been extremely helpful in order to let go of negativity, you have to let go of resentment. So I want to start with that conversation for a minute. Now, what do I mean by that? Is you're walking around and you're trying to be positive, and the next thing out of your mouth is like, oh my God, there is my ex. He ain't from Texas, and I wish I could ... Okay, so that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Happy smile, really ridiculously negative words. And what do you think happens with that, Mark? You know, it happens every time we have a caller on the show and you start doing your thing. And we say, please don't interrupt Mark, and they interrupt, and then that circuit is broken. That is the same thing with being able to clear negativity. Now, it's a process. The best program on the planet, global program on the planet, and whether you like 12-step programs or not, this is not an advertisement for them. But I wish they would let go of their playbook and give it out to everybody. They won't. It's a private, confidential, anonymous program. Of course, I'm very open about my recovery. Why? So I could help other people not be ashamed. But the deal is there's a number one thing in there before you can even get to forgiveness. And that is, it's so simple and it's so hard. Resentment is the number one offender. So to get rid of negativity, I highly suggest you make a list of all the things that go through your mind, and let's just stay with people. I don't care if you don't like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, although you may have had an accident on there and you really resent those tall structures. You could put that down, but you have to start by admitting to yourself, I'm carrying it around with me. You know what a psychic said to me once when I walked into her room in Port Townsend to have a reading after 6 of my friends already went in? She said, stop. I like, okay, like what? I don't have my pants on. She said, you have to stop. I have to clear the 3 steel caskets that you're carrying around that are chained to you.
Wow. That's
Now,
good.
that's what we're talking about today. Maybe you don't have 3 steel caskets. When I went out of there, the tea leaves were moving on the table. And so that's what releasing negativity does. It frees your energy, your karma, it frees your inner self alchemy, it frees your soul universe transcendence. And there you go. So when you go to that grocery store tomorrow and you're walking up to your least favorite person checking you out, you're going to smile. Right, Mark? What do you think?
I think that's extremely valuable advice is identifying the problem and going to resentment, because a lot of people, they can't heal because they hold resentments, and resentment is tied into forgiveness. Forgiveness is the most difficult virtue of all. I did a reading this last week. Rocky was there, and I'm not going to mention the person I did it for because it was a pretty high profile person. But my client's son um, was along a road, and a car ran him over because the driver of the car wasn't paying attention. And during the reading, I got a name, and I said he's going through a lot. This is being very, very difficult for him, and the client couldn't connect the dots. And then after the reading, we went for a walk, and she said, "Oh my God, that name you brought up, that was the name of the boy driving the car that killed my son."
Hmm.
And so she was, so understandably so, a mother in grief, had blocked that out. And even though she is a very spiritual person and knows a lot about letting go of this, I mean, this is still a mom who's, some kid was driving, texting, it wasn't paying attention and didn't mean to, but still ran over and killed her son.
Yeah.
And how do you forgive somebody for that? Yes, you can say, "Oh, I forgive them. I'm moving on." But come on, this is your child that was killed because somebody else was not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy for all of us to hold resentments and to avoid acknowledging them. And that is a huge, huge component in healing and in forgiving. And all of us do this. Dr. Pat and I, yes, we are, I'm a medium, she's a psychologist, we know all about forgiveness, but we're people too. And there's people in our past. There are some people in my past that if I never saw them again, it would be too soon. It's like, I saw a line in a TV show that cracked me up once. It was like, "Well, that was great. Let's never stay in touch." Okay. And that's how you want to be. But the thing is, when you're holding that resentment, it's like
Mm-hmm.
drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So when you hold resentments, you're the one being poisoned. And it is difficult to let go of that.
There was a joke that I was told in one of our meetings once, one of our 12-step meetings. And for those of you that haven't figured it out, now I have 35 years of recovery from alcohol, but I have much longer than that from drugs. And so I now help people. Why? Because I lost my mom to suicide from drugs and alcohol. So, after I was done with my own stint at trying to be my mom, I discovered I could be something else. And one of the greatest jokes I've ever heard, funny, it took me a while to get this joke, okay? And so, it was a joke around an apple, and the apple had poison in it, right? And it's what is that Sleeping Beauty, whatever that character is. So it's the same story. So the big long story, but the punchline was, you know what? I know it's poison, but I really like it. I'll only take a little bite. I'll only take a little. That's all what's her face took, Sleeping Beauty. She didn't eat the whole apple. She took a little bite, and a little bite of resentment is enough to stop your life desire in a minute. So here's what I want to say to you. I love the word forgiveness, but it is so misunderstood. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you agree with the egregious fault. It simply means you're releasing the energy of that person from you. Bonnie Barner talks about it beautifully, wrote a great book. And she said, this is one of the most selfish things you'll ever do. And people looked at her giving this talk. And Bonnie's like, yes, forgiveness is selfish. And here's why. You're not doing it for the other person. They may never know you're doing it for you. And I think tonight's show is to really look at selfish and selflessness and integrate the two so that we can help people fully step out into the world. Because we get callers calling in, and some of the things that have happened to their loved ones, I don't even want to talk about or repeat. But I want you all to know, Mark and I get it. We're going to take a really short break. When we come back, we've got 3 or 4 people lined up. 1-800-930-2819. I got Kuan Yin back there. I got my money tree back there. I got the glasswork back there. I brought everything back there so that we could have some clearing energy. And by the way, I can't get to show you because I'm out of the frame with that painting. That was a healing painting that my acupuncturist mom created and sent me from China. So let's take a short break, everybody. I'm not going to hold up the vase, Mark. Don't worry. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Psychic and the Doc. This is the Transformation Network. I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer, and I am here with my superhero co-host, Dr. Pat Baccili. And, you know, Dr. Pat, as you know, the theme of the show tonight is wash away negativity. And I really want to thank you for opening up and talking about your personal journey, how, you know, you made yourself free from addiction. You have been in recovery for over 3 decades now. Let me tell you something. As a former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney, I have dealt with more than my fair share of drug addicts and alcoholics. And they can be very, very manipulative and crafty people, and they'll turn it around on you or whoever the focal point is, and you make me do this. And you know, you're laughing because I bet you have seen all those behaviors. I mean, and the thing is, when somebody can actually get past that and say, you know, this is on me, and now I have to take charge of my life.
Look,
you know, it's like I saw this this cartoon on Facebook where this woman's before Buddha and she says, I want happiness. And Buddha said, remove I, remove want. Now you have happiness.
oh my God, that's so good, Mark. That's a t-shirt. I love that we're talking about that because, you know, you're right. I mean, we've seen it all. I mean, I have been in meetings and next to a sponsor, and I happen to live in a gun-free state. I still think they are, where you're allowed to carry guns. And I sat in that meeting, and woman walked in, sat down, pulled out a gun, and put it to her head, and that was the end of her in the middle of the meeting.
Oh my! Whoa!
Yeah, and there was nothing I could do about her. But the entire room of people, we had to stop. We had to call the police. But then I had to work with the family. And sometimes you just can't find the words, Mark.
No.
But that's today. See, what you do is you learn to listen to people, and that's what this show has been all about. That's what you do beautifully, and we're going to do it right now. Nat, who do you have?
All right, our first caller today is going to be Sharon from California. Sharon, you are on the show now.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Great to have you on the show. I want to turn you. You're welcome. I'd like to turn you over to Mark, and all I'm going to ask is that he's going to connect if he hasn't already, and just hold back on your questions until he calls you in. Okay?
Okay. Hi, Sharon. How can I help you?
Thank you. I guess I need to tune in with my resentment.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to
No,
laugh.
we're
but
not laughing at you.
I'm
We're
glad you're
laughing.
listening to the show.
Yeah, we really appreciate that, Sharon. Sharon, and this may not be for you. This could be for another one of the callers, but I keep picking up on a son, a son. And I realized earlier I was talking about a mother who lost a son, but I'm picking up on a male energy connected to you, younger male. And I feel with his passing, I'm feeling my lungs filling up with fluid. Now, this could be drowning, this could be pneumonia, because different causes of death have a similar physical sensation as I experience it. And both dying from a lung disease like pneumonia or even lung cancer has that same full sensation that I get with drowning. And this younger male was having a very difficult time trying to breathe. And now I'm seeing that this younger male, I'm seeing a blue star. The blue star indicates that this was a baby. It could be a baby that died in utero or just not long after, like in infancy. Is there anyone connected to you that may have lost a little boy?
Yes,
Okay. And who is that person that lost the child?
myself.
Okay.
Me.
Now, okay. No, I understand. I understand. Hold on. So the baby's coming through, and the word I hear is stabilize, stabilize. And he's not talking about himself. He's talking about you. He's here to help stabilize. Ah, that's a fascinating word. Now, the people think when the spirit of a baby comes through that they're going to be goo goo gaga and talk like a baby, but we have to keep in mind that spirits are immortal living beings. In other words, spirits pre-exist bodies, come into a body, moves on after the body dies. So even though this was a baby, he is still a very ancient and very wise spirit, and he's here to help you stabilize. And also, he's making me smell orange blossoms. Now, I live in Florida. We have orange blossoms. And I think Nat said, I believe you're from California. So, is there anything about orange blossoms that resonate with you in any way? Don't worry, it doesn't have to apply to the baby. It could be about you in any way.
No.
Oh, let's not go to no right away. I always tell people avoid the no, no, no syndrome. Think of the fragrance of orange blossoms. Can you smell it in your mind's nose?
Yes. Yes.
What immediately comes to mind with the scent of orange blossom? No matter what it
An orange
is,
tree. An orange
right?
tree.
An orange
And-
tree does,
And bloom.
does it take you back to a particular place or time?
Not that I can remember.
Okay. There's something significant about orange blossoms that is just overwhelming me. Is your mother in spirit? Because there's a woman stepping forward. It was a very maternal vibe.
Yes, my mother is in spirit.
Okay, so your mother is there with the baby, and your mother is telling me as a little girl, you were always very inquisitive, and more so than most children. You always wanted to understand things, the workings of things, understanding people. And she said that sometimes that's led you down difficult paths. It's kind of got you in a little bit of trouble now and again. She says, but it's also serving you very well, particularly now. She said, because your inquisitive nature has opened up new doors for you spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And because you asked about resentments, and this is how you're going to overcome the resentments. And now I'm being overpowered once again in a very nice way with the scent of orange blossoms. So I'm going to leave that with you. Dr. Pat, I know this is a strange group of messages, but what do you have any insights on this?
I do have a little. Can I ask you, do you happen to live in Orange County? Who
No.
lives in Orange County that you know?
No one that I know of.
Okay, you're in California, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So just sometimes orange blossoms come through and they have multiple meanings, right? They are a key ingredient in the old school days when they used to actually, okay, is this going to be an antique word that I'm going to say now? When they used to create perfumes or fragrance, right? They would use real ingredients. You know what I mean? Not synthetic. Also essential
Yes.
oils. You know, they would use that. Also, there's a culinary aspect of orange and orange blossoms. So I want to ask you a couple different questions that could help you. And I don't know enough about your child, right? But I want to ask you a question. Any version of orange your child's favorite color?
I like the orange, yeah.
You like orange.
There we go.
Yeah.
You personally. What about your child?
Yeah.
Your child like orange, right? Okay. I know this is
My
hard.
child is in spirit.
That's right. That's exactly who's trying to talk with you. Orange, orange blossoms. Now, if you separate them, orange blossoms are either flowers or colors. Did you or they, I don't know why this image is coming to me. I see this either t-shirt or sweatshirt or something with beautiful flowers on it, but I don't know what that is. Am I just making that up, or is anything about that real?
So like,
Doesn't click.
Okay. So there's something in your surrounding or something that was in there that has flowers on it. It could be a painting. I don't know. But all I keep getting is, you know what I like to do? I like to doodle. And when even in my doctoral program, like do I say in my 40s, I would create these beautiful flowers on my book. I just put them on there because it was really hard for me to go to school. To have anything like that that you're keeping.
I've planted Gerber daisies for in memory of my daughter who is in spirit.
Yeah, we're talking about
And
your
I was
daughter
out
who's in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to get a message to you, is what I'm trying to say. Where did you plant them?
Okay. In the side yard and in the front yard.
Okay, and they're there today.
Yes.
Okay. So this again, Mark, can you reiterate the message?
yeah, I just keep getting the beautiful orange blossoms. And what I'm getting about orange blossoms, that's rebirth, that's renewal, because what happens when an orange blossom is the precursor to an orange, and especially if the caller likes the color orange, that is significant. And I'm just getting inundated by this beautiful scent of orange. The thing is, Sharon, what we're getting here may not have happened yet, because many times spirits will bring up things like you may be somewhere and all of a sudden you start smelling orange blossoms, or you'll encounter an orange tree and you may have a visitation or an understanding of something. And the baby that I was getting was a male, but you also said do you also have a daughter in spirit? Is that what you said too?
Yes.
Okay.
My son was in utero.
In utero, your daughter, she was about 8 or 9 or 10 years old, right around there?
No, she was 51.
Yeah, that's the sense I'm getting, because
was-
I see her cooking. And so this is what I'm trying to get at. It's the oddest images. And I had to clear my brain because I'm actually creating a board game. And so what I'm seeing is this person that loved things and loved things you do. Can I ask you one last question? And then we're going to have you go think about this. What plantings did you and she do together? And what kind of cook was your 50 plus daughter? Please tell me.
She was an excellent cook.
Exactly. So what did she love cooking for you? I'm going to tell you what essential oil orange is about. As a matter of fact, went to Mary Jane Mack the other day, and for Linda, that is her remedy. It's essential orange, essential oil, orange on your wrists. So this is what I'm trying to get to. Your daughter is trying to give you a healing message. Okay. Give me one meal that your daughter cooked for you. Just one.
Turkey dinner.
Okay. So here's what the message is. I hope you're not worrying about how your daughter is. Your daughter is fine. Your daughter has a concern about you. I don't know what that is yet. But I will tell you that when I get messages and Mark gets messages, if I get a message from Mark, I'm going to run out and see how my organic essential or orange essential oil is doing. And I will go get more and I will put it on my wrist, and I don't have to know why. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if you're going through a medical something. I don't know. The other meaning,
Yes,
you
I
are
am.
going through. See, we have to be very careful about how we do this, because Mark and I are not medical doctors. So we have to cautiously ask you. We cannot jump. So I want you to think about what you're going through medically. Don't tell us, but there's something about an orange essential oil. And you know what? If you want to get further help, I can give you the name later of my practitioner who I've been through helping me all week long. But I just want to say to you, Mark, help me.
Yes.
Her daughter, they're all fine.
Oh yeah, spirits are always fine. We're the ones that
Okay.
are miserable.
Okay.
Just
Good.
out of curiosity, is there a girl between 8 and 10 years old, like maybe on planet Earth, like a grandchild or a great niece or something like that? Because there's an image of a little girl connected to you in some way. And if not, that may be somebody you're going to be connecting with, could be a friend's child or grandchild. So I just want to leave that with you, Sharon.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank
you
you.
so much. I know. You notice how careful we are, Mark, because you know, in the world that I live in and the kind of work that I do and the work that you do behaviorally, we walk people through discovering self. That's
Right.
what we do on this show. Nat, who do we have?
All right, our next caller is going to be Naomi from Indiana. Naomi, you are on the show now.
Hey, Naomi, is that how I say your
Yeah.
name, or is it Naomi? Which one is it? What do you love?
It's Naomi.
Naomi, what a beautiful name. That's a gorgeous
Thank
name.
you.
And you're taking it from somebody that was given the name Pat. Hello.
Hi. How are
Please,
you guys?
all you Pats out there,
I
do
had
not
talked to you
email
guys
me.
in October.
Okay. So what can we help you with today?
Okay. I called you guys in October, and you told me to go somewhere where there's palm trees, and I did. I went to Florida, stayed with my girlfriend for almost 14 days, and I did go on the beach and sit by palm trees. And because my son passed away from an overdose,
Yeah.
and I haven't been able to see my grandbabies since
I
August
remember.
20th, and I finally got to see them Monday, and she doesn't want to give me more than 4 hours a month supervised.
Okay, I'm going to jump in real quick, and then I'm going to turn you over to Mark. Just give me a minute with you. We have been talking at the beginning of the show of how to release negativity. In your case, it's not that. What we're asking you to release, and Mark's going to jump in, you don't sound like you have resentment. And boy, if you don't,
I don't.
Girlfriend, you are the 5-star. I'm going to go get my gold medal and hang it up for you in the show in 2 minutes. But that now
I'm just
helps.
loving. I'm trying to love her.
You're not, don't try anymore. Just love and gratitude, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So Naomi, let's see if we can connect with your son. Okay. Hold on. Wow. Okay. I'm getting, and please forgive me, when I start giving evidence about how somebody passed, I know I can sound very clinical, And I don't mean it in an unsympathetic way, but I'm getting a male energy coming through, and I'm getting a massive impact shock wave to my body. So what that indicates to me, Naomi, is that this young man, it could have been an abrupt or unexpected passing. So when I get an impact sensation, that could be trauma. It could be like a stroke aneurysm, but usually it means an unexpected passing. Does that make sense connected to your son?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had fentanyl and xylazine.
I'm sorry, what?
He had fentanyl and xylazine in his drug whatever he bought him. They had him laced.
They were
Yeah,
laced.
that would be abrupt and unexpected. The fascinating thing is he's making me taste iron. Now, iron, I mean, and I'm also seeing a bunch of iron cookware, old-fashioned frying pans and pots, and I don't think too many people are using those anymore. But that can mean something about cookware. Maybe you got a bunch of iron cookware, but that could also mean something about iron. And it may not be about your son. It could be about you. There could be a protein issue or an iron deficiency or an iron surplus. So we got to make sure we look at it either way. But if I say iron, what resonates with you?
Well, he loved cooking in my iron skillet. and I cook in my iron skillet.
Bada bing, bada iron. All right.
We fried chicken in the iron skillet, and he loved my iron skillet.
Cast iron. It's cast iron, right? Cast iron skillet?
Yeah, cast iron.
Oh, I bought him one. Good.
I bought him one because, he loved he did love his cast iron skillet.
Perfect. So we definitely got him here online. Hold on, Naomi. Let me get a message for him. He said you have to be patient. You have to be patient when it comes to seeing your grandchild. He said she is, speaking of resentments, she's filled with resentments, and that's why she's acting the way she does, but eventually she will relent. He said, contrary to popular belief, she's not an insufferable, it starts with a B, ends with an H. Okay. She's not an insufferable, B word. He said, she's hurting too. And he said that she feels that if she excludes people from her life, that she somehow has control over it. And she is so filled with anger, bitterness, resentment. He said, just keep, it's really beautiful what you're doing. And, we all know how Jesus said, love your enemies, and that's, really, that is about as tough as it gets, but she's not your enemy. And so with her resentment and her rudeness, return it with love and say to her, this is coming from him. Say, the only reason I'm here is because I love my grandchild and I have love for you. You don't have to tell her, I love you. You say, I have love for you. Dr. Pat, what's your take on this?
I know a lot about this. I just had a past life regression with the most incredible Bryn Blankenship. She doesn't do them anymore, but she teaches and certified others. Now, one of the, I don't know the right word. Bryn, please correct me if I'm not, you could tell her to forgive me. But one of the characters that I show up as in the strangest way, unbeknownst to me, is Aries. It's a Greek god, Aries. Aries in a spiritual context. This is for you. I never thought after I'm done with these things, I always say to spirit, really, Aries, you got to be kidding. Why couldn't I be Athena or somebody else? Well, but here's your message.
Well, my grandson. Okay.
Go ahead. Tell me.
Sorry.
No, say.
My grandson's name is Artemis, and my son picked him out of a Greek god. He's a Greek goddess, and he left me a note. I haven't read it yet, but what his name means.
Dr. Pack gets the Gold Star Award.
Because I've been hurting so much, that everything that I pretend that he's not dead, that he just went to New York and he's going to come back. No, that's the only way I can deal with it right now.
No, please listen to me. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. I'm so sorry. We are going to take a few more minutes with this, Mark, if you don't mind, because I think you're going to have to chime back in. I didn't get a note from my mom who committed suicide until my dad died. and my stepmom had pulled them out of the garbage, unbeknownst to my dad. When I read them, it was 40 years later than she wrote them. It was the only time I could hear them. So powerful, so understanding. So in a spiritual context, this message is for you, and Mark, this is from whomever delivered it. In a spiritual context, cast iron symbolizes you, grounding, strength, resilience. This is you. It is often associated with the gods of war, Aries and Mars. And I just want to tell you about that for you to take it all in, because it is that resilience, grounding, strength, the symbolic connection you have, where you're going to create a ritual to read this with somebody that's safe.
My son was in Aries. His birthday's coming up April 12th. So.
Bingo.
There you go.
Sometimes Mark and I are really right on, and other times we're like,
I know, you guys are right on the spot.
We really are.
Yeah, you sure are. And I don't know if you ever experienced this.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you ever experienced this, Doctor, but when that kid when the kid dies of overdose, the cops and everybody's just basically they put everybody down.
Oh, I've been arrested.
And
let me just tell you, I have been arrested because I watched, and I don't know if you heard the show earlier, I have buried more sponsees than I can imagine in the time frame I've been clean and sober. And you get to a point where you just have to look in a police sergeant's or a captain's face and say, how dare you? That's what you have to do sometimes. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. Please don't do that. I don't have enough money. I'd have to crowdfund for your bail. But what I want to say for you, we have to do some crowdfunding. But it's a connection I want you to hold on to. It is a reminder. Please listen to this last part. It is a reminder that in each of the difficult times, strength, resilience, and grounding are necessary to navigate life's challenges. You will decide when to read that, who to read it with, and create a ritual. Now, I will tell you, if I'm you, I'm creating myself a cast iron ritual. I don't care what it is.
Yes,
it's going to be a porterhouse steak in a cast iron pan, just cooking that thing up, or it could be my mama's fried chicken. But that's Mark. Please top this off. Mark,
and here's the thing, Sharon, are you with Helping Parents Heal? Are you a member of Helping Parents Heal?
Naomi, yes.
Naomi,
yes,
I'm sorry,
yes,
Naomi.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I
Yes,
was thinking
Mark,
about Sharon too, and
That's
my heart
okay.
goes out to everyone. Yes. And this coming, I
Mark.
believe it is Tuesday night, I will be giving a presentation online for Helping Parents Heal. So please tune in. Please tune in. Okay.
Oh my God, thank you.
I will.
Thank you.
And please let us know. You can email Mark and let Mark know, or me at info@the Dr. Pat Show, and just let us know what you're thinking of your ritual. We're here to support you, bottom line. All right.
Yes, I will.
Thank
I
you,
will let you guys know. Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
I love you. I'm going to get my cast iron pan out right after we're done. Nat, who do we have?
All right, our next caller is going to be Lori from Texas. Lori, you're on the show right now.
Hi, Texas.
Hey, Lori from Texas. Hey, Texas, Lori. Hi.
Lori, how can we help you?
Hi, Lori. Now, why don't we go to the next caller?
Yeah, you can work that out. Who's next, Nat?
All right.
Hello.
Oh,
wait. She's
Hold
there.
on.
Hey, Lori, how are you? How can we help you?
Lori from Texas here.
Oh, I'm not even going to comment on that, but I'm so glad we're connecting with you. How can we help you?
The first time calling in, and so I'm just looking for a new experience. And I did resonate with the introduction about resentment. I think there was a time, I don't think I'm out of it yet. I still think I'm
No, no.
struggling and
Yeah,
finding
yeah.
my way.
Yeah, you wouldn't have called in. That's why we're for you. Let me turn you over to Mark. All I ask is you let Mark finish. He's connecting, and then when he would like information from you, he'll just turn right over to you and ask you. Okay, here we go.
Right. And Lori, don't shoot everything down. A lot of people are going to, no, 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 no. You got to realize it takes time always, often to understand these things. I'm getting a male energy coming through, and he feels like he's connected to you through your male, meaning your father's side of the family. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean your dad, but he is on that generational level. It could be a dad, could be an uncle, could possibly be a grandfather. And what I'm getting with this gentleman is a lot of pain in his back, particularly on the left side of his back, which makes me left side of the back would be not only lungs, but also possibly a heart issue. I'm also getting some orthopedic problems because I'm feeling pain running down my whole spine. So prior to his transition, this gentleman was having a lot of pain, a lot of stiffness, issues breathing. I'm getting with him, he keeps showing me the number 71, 71, 71. Now, that could be a significance to 1971. It could be the number 17, or he may have been around 71. But this gentleman does look like he could have been late 60s, early 70s. Do you recognize this person?
Sounds like possibly my dad, but my dad was in his 80s. He had heart conditions.
Okay.
First,
All right. So we got your dad. So there's something about, hold on. When I get numbers, sometimes they come in backwards. It could be a significance to the number 1, which could mean the first month, which is January, a birth, death, anniversary, or event, not just connected to him, but connected to you in some way. It could be the first of any month. 7 could be the 7th of any month, or a reference to the 7th month, July. It could be the number 17. It could be like the 17th of any month, and or the number 71. So there's a 1, 7, 17, or 71 possibility. If that doesn't leap out at you right away, don't worry about it. Now, the funny thing with him, he keeps peeling bananas, 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 and more bananas. All right. Now, a lot of people like bananas. It's hard not to like bananas, I think, but some people don't like them. Bananas could also mean a potassium issue because they're very rich in potassium. All right, you're laughing. What's up with the bananas?
my dad and I would eat bananas like crazy.
Okay, there you go. So that's a verifiable fact. In other words, following a message. So that we definitely got, this is your dad. This is your dad. Okay, and he's saying hi ho, it's off to work we go. Okay, now when I get the hi ho song, we know that's from Disney's Snow White and all that. But there is, once again, is the number 7. This could be 7 people, like 7 kids, or 2 parents and 5 kids, or once again, a significance to the 7th of any month or the 7th month, which is July. The interesting thing about that particular song is it means somebody was a workaholic, and I kind of think it was him and you. All right, and anything with workaholic, 7 or July in any way, or 7 people?
Workaholic, yes, you nailed it. Dad and I.
Okay.
7 isn't resonating yet, but I'm thinking.
Yeah, it will, and it could also mean something's coming up in July too. So don't strain and struggle. You're doing very well so far. Let's see what he wants you to know. Go on the trip, go on the trip, go on the trip, go, 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 go on the trip. All right. You must have, but be thinking, contemplating about a vacation, or it could be a business trip, but he keeps reiterating, go on the trip. Go on the trip. What's coming up with you with a trip? And the trip involves flying, which is not unusual, but he's also showing me a smaller plane. So maybe it's a puddle jumper, or you may have to, at some part of it, take a small plane somewhere. Because I remember when I went out to Cape Cod, you fly into Boston on a big old, whatever plane, and then they said Cape Air, and I walk out and there's this little tiny Cessna. I'm like, no way, that was it. Okay, but he showed me stuff like that. Anything there?
I'm going to the Philippines in May.
Okay, now one thing I do know about the Philippines, when you fly from island to island, you're going to be taking smaller planes. What day, perchance, are you leaving for the Philippines?
May 13th.
May 13th. So I venture to say that you're going to be there by the 17th. I mean, you'll probably be there before then. I'm getting everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Okay. So this is not a, oh my God, don't get in the small plane. He's saying you're gonna be fine. But he said, don't eat before you go on the puddle jumpers. Do you get airsick on little planes?
I try not to fly on little planes.
Okay. For your comfort and those of your fellow passengers, wait till you land before you have lunch or dinner. Okay. And your dad's laughing about that. The other thing he said is submersible. Submersible. Are you going on any type of submersible, sub ride, or scuba diving when you're there?
And not planned.
Good, don't. He said the plane's fine, no submersibles for you. Okay. Your dad's a real character. All right. And is there an Henri? Could be Henry, could be Bernie. I'm getting this Henri, Ernie, some type of name like that. Could be connected to you or your dad in any way.
There's a Billy.
No, this has got that ER, or it could be Bernie, Henry. There's some type of name like that associated to you or your dad. Hold on, let me see where he's going with this. It's interesting. Whatever this trip is, whether you're conscious of it or not, it's going to open up a completely new page in your life. And even though it's maybe a trip or a vacation, there's going to be a realization, something which is going to happen to you, which I feel is a breath of fresh air. So this feels very good. So I'm going to leave that with you. Dr. Pat, I can see you got something.
I got a couple questions for you. I'm assuming your dad was around or in 1971. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was he happened to be in the Vietnam War?
No.
I want to ask you two questions and then I'll give you my answer. Were either you or your dad religious people or spiritual people?
No to religious. I'm spiritual, and
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
Because I want to tell you what the number 7 means. Boy, this is Goddess Day. This is Greek God and Goddess Day. I want to tell you about the number 7, and I want to tell you what it means. It's often associated with spiritual, just 7. Spirit, 1 we already know is a master number, but spirituality, intuition, introspection, and connection to the goddess that I wish I would have been. I'm not sorry, Aries. I'm not going to put that in there. But Athena or Minerva. Minerva. What is Minerva the goddess of, Mr. Mark? Submergible what?
A submersible. It was like going underwater. Right,
Minerva.
going underwater.
Wow.
Minerva. Yeah.
Minerva. Okay. So this is interesting because these together represent leader or someone who inspires other. I got one question for you. What is the project you want to work on that you are not working on right now? It doesn't have to be big. It could be go get my teeth cleaned. It doesn't have to be like a big deal.
Oh, you mean like it could be she's immersing herself.
She's just not doing it. You're not doing it. There's something you're not doing that you really want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big birthday coming up. I'm tied with that. There's all these other things that fold into that equation. So I am tackling it, but at a very slow pace.
Good. So here's what you're getting. This is the God Goddess message, but it's also, I'm going to give you the religious one. It is 7 is a major number for Jesus in a certain point of time and around the mana. And so, but for the goddesses and the gods associated with this, these are people of wisdom, but they're also people of warfare. So I would venture, if we had more time on here, the reason you don't want to tackle it is because the people that are doing it may not be getting along real well. What do you think?
Yes.
Here you go.
Yeah.
This is where
Mhm.
you have to take what we said at the beginning of the show. What am I saying? Find a way for resentment to be cleared. Step into this with extreme gratitude for whoever is being celebrated, and everything will fall into place. It will not be hard. You will step up and do it, because if you know anything about Athena and Minerva, you will know they do not beat around the bush. So you're going to have that energy for you with what Mark said. Now consider the number 7, extremely lucky. It's defined in mysticism and anywhere you want. It's a prime number. So the message is for you to step up and be in the prime of your decision and action, and take the energy of Minerva and Athena. And if you're a little bit spiritual, right? Jesus, and you could say Jesus the man if you're not all religious, and look at that energy, because these people were about action. Got it?
I got it. Yes.
Let
Thank
go.
you.
Don't worry about these people and their feuding. Rise above it. 7 is a rise above it sign. 1
Yes,
is
it
already
is.
above it. Got that?
Rise above it. I've written
Yeah.
it down 3 times now. I love it.
Okay, rise above
There
it.
you go.
And now you're from Texas. I got one last message for you. You're from
Okay.
Texas. Get you some good barbecue.
Yeah. I know. There's a place just down the street.
Get it. You got to get it, because you deserve it. And send
right,
Nate,
thank you.
before you hang up, tell Nat the name of the place so I can order for us. Thank you so much. Please, you're set up for success here. Don't question yourself, and don't worry about these other peeps, because they really are peeps that are squawking like they're crows. They're not crows. They're peeps.
Okay.
Well, thank you for calling in. And for
Yeah,
the
thank
other
you.
folks that are on the line, Dr. Pat and I will be back next week, April 17th. The theme of the show is Sacred Astrology. So we will be taking your calls next week here on The Psychic and the Doc. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in. And, wash that negativity away. Don't let resentments, don't let yesterday take up too much of today. God bless you all, and we will see you next week.
Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.